20. Cashing in with conversation. The WBBM Noon Business Hour continues.
Rising living costs are forcing more retirees back to work, with many older Americans unretiring just to afford everyday expenses. Joining us to discuss is Craig Bolanos, co-founder and wealth advisor, VestGen Wealth Partners in Inverness and Downers Grove. Find them online at getretiredstayretired.com. And Craig, you're here because a lot of people are having a hard time staying retired. What's the problem?
Well, the problem is twofold. Number one, the inflation. We've spent 58 months, that's almost 5 years above the Fed's 2% target. Number two, Rob, remember, it was just 6 years ago that so many people retired during the early stages of COVID, and some of those early retirement decisions combined with the big CPI lie, I call it, that things aren't expensive, are finally coming home to roost for many Americans.
Now, we might say that this dovetails a little bit with discussions we have about not entirely hanging up the gone fishing sign once you actually retire, that maybe you could take on a job just to pass the time or volunteer, but under these circumstances, maybe you'd rather do work that does bring home a paycheck that doesn't necessarily have to be the paycheck you brought home before you retired.
No, and I think for those people, that's a part of the planning process. You know, what we call it at VestGen Wealth Partners is a professional pivot. And a professional pivot means you save and invest, you grow and protect, and you create a plan that allows you to partially retire, aka get the currency of your time back. And I don't deny, Rob, that some of the people re-entering the workforce are doing it because they value connectivity, they value intellectual gratification, but the stats don't lie. There's far too many people coming back to work simply because they didn't have a plan, and the cost of living has increased so dramatically that people are in the need of the additional income.
How many people, in your estimation, retired not because they wanted to, but because they discovered that going out into the workforce as someone in their 60s or maybe in their 70s, they found out that people just simply didn't want someone of that age in their office, even though it's against the law. It's there's a lot of winking and nodding going on in the workforce.
There's a lot of winking and nodding when I hear about global outsourcing, and what became RIFs, reduction in force. I think a lot of people know their age-based discrimination shrouded inside of an acronym. But the reality here is this. The biggest disservice anybody can do when they're just doing an online retirement calculator is picking a retirement age. No, people need to have retirement goalposts. When do you want to retire by? But there needs to be another set of plans that says if you get retired early, not by your choosing, taking care of a loved one, a reduction in force at work, you got to have the finances to measure to that early goalpost, because too many people don't work as long as they want to because they're forced into retirement through their employer, mergers and acquisitions.
Craig Bolanos, co-founder and wealth advisor, VestGen Wealth Partners in Inverness and Downers Grove. Find them online at getretiredstayretired.com.